I'm gonna leave it as the Linters because I don't want to import the game.
Okay,
I
fair
think we'll
enough.
abuse that power. Uh,
You're
Sweet.
you're
All
you're
right.
like the
Hell
framers
yeah.
of the Constitution, Dom. You're afraid of your own power, and you want to set good
Oh God,
institutions.
look what we did. Oh, oh no, we changed everything. Oh no. Hell yeah, this is awesome.
It's awesome. We're gonna have an editor. Okay. So we're gonna do jump point search then. I take it. I was thinking we could either do that or we could work on the level editor, but they're both
Let's
good.
work on the level editor because I feel like I'm halfway done with this.
Okay.
So let me stick another branch. Whip. All right. Minimize you. Get a little server going here. All right. Back to that good level editor. We got 3000 and we got 3001. And 3001 is not happy with me. Is that because it's the same game or
It might
it
be the
just
same
connects? It
server
might.
it's trying to connect to.
Yeah, that sounds kind of possible. Huh. Though I would have expected one of these to be disconnecting. Mm.
Oh wait, the editor is running. We're actually running two games right now. I think that's what's
I thought
happening.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Okay, great. Oh, I think it's weird. I'm gonna kill both of these again and start it fresh because it was strange that the editors always seems to not be okay when it starts. Maybe it's just that like the second one you start, yeah, hit max player count. Interesting.
Do you think that Safari tries to preload?
Oh, you know what? I bet it does.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally do.
Yeah.
I'm down with that, or rather, I'm not, but they are.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't preload a stateless connection.
Nope, nope. Yeah, I've seen it do that in development sometimes, and it's very funny to see my server request go off before I hit the button. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll happen. I think when if you
Uh,
put a link into Slack as well.
oh shit, of course it does.
Yeah.
Damn. Alrighty. Well, so let's see. We've got our split into engine and game, and maybe we need a new folder here for editor.
Yeah.
I think
There's
that sounds
gonna
probably
always
right.
gonna be a question organization wise of whether anything goes into the under the apps directory versus the top level. But
Hmm.
I think these are just our entry points, right?
I think so too. I like it the way it's going right now. It feels, I don't know, it's a good URL. Yeah, these files are very specific, so
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fine.
Maybe eventually we can rename that folder to entry points, um, but we make it so entry points doesn't show up in the browser URL, right? We can figure out a way to map it over so it doesn't show up
Yep,
in there.
yep, that seems reasonable.
It'll make debugging really complicated. If you go to like launch.json,
Oh yeah,
every time like
yeah.
you see those dot dots, every time the URL changes, I have to go in and adjust this. It's really
Oh
confusing.
no,
Yeah,
that's super annoying.
yeah.
Whoops. Which let's might as well add one here right now.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Just to keep it complicated. Oh, weird. It's got a funny format on that. Sweet. I added one too to the test that just runs the test instead of debugs the test.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually quite slow, so I might not keep it in there.
Yeah, yarn test is probably faster, right? Just running it from the command line.
It's much faster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Got the chat up. Not gonna miss Dean this time. Someone here named Discourse is a great name though. I don't know who that is, but thanks for hanging out.
Did you talk to Dean after that last one? He's like, why weren't you guys
I
responding to
sent
me?
I sent a message. I was like, I'm sorry we switched tech stacks, and he was like, that I could tell. For whether that's good or bad.
Yeah.
So I noticed one of the changes that happened on the editor side is that this depends on game client sim, which we can I guess we want to roll back, or rather we had this forked a second ago. Yeah.
Yeah, we want to talk about that one. I'm gonna grab a power cable for a second. You familiarize
Dude,
yourself
that
with
is.
client sim.
Oh yeah. Hello stream. It's just me now, but not for long. Yeah, gosh, there is a lot of things in here.
Just want to make sure my iPad is charged so I can see the chat as well. Although wait,
Excellent.
I can do it on the browser. I don't need to be this fancy. I've got so
Yep.
many windows. It's crazy. I'm not used to using
Yeah, I
my.
think. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying I'm not used to having my laptop open when I'm not used to having my laptop open when I'm developing. I would just use one monitor. Is that weird?
Mm-hmm. No, I don't like the dual screen setup either. It's too much for me.
Yeah. So you were saying?
Cool. I forgot. I was looking at client sim, so
Okay.
that's part of what I was saying. Um, yeah, it looks like we moved away from injecting the simulate function. How are
Yeah.
you feeling about that? Did you go kind of cold on the thought?
Well, I think there's more to it there's more involved in doing that than just injecting a single function. There's like a bunch of setup calls.
Mm,
So I do think that like we want to figure out how much of this thing we can factor out and make common between
yeah,
the
that seems
editor and the
reasonable.
game. There are some things that are going to be common. I think in particular the server connection stuff, also the server message handling.
Hmm. Yep.
Um, Also sync, not sync camera to player. I think that's pretty much it. And then when you go to the render of this, there should be a render in here, I believe. Or maybe
There's a
not. It's
get
just get renderables.
renderables.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe get renderables is also something that would be common.
I think so.
Um, Although I don't know, there's some specific game specific stuff in here, right? So I think we need to
Mm-hmm.
figure out an abstraction that's lower than this. And like there are two ways that I went about doing this refactor. And I kind of prefer one way of doing it, but it's not as so basically like generally when you want to like have like common behavior in a framework,
Mm-hmm.
one way you can do it is you can force the user or the developer to inherit from an abstract base class. And
Yeah,
that's what happens in, I believe, yeah, you see that client sim base?
clients base.
It's
Oh,
the implements there.
oh, okay.
So
But really, there's no implementation. Yeah. This is a
that's an interface. And I
yeah.
also did that um, I also did that with a with the state database. So I renamed the entity manager to SimState, and then I renamed SimState to StateDB. So you should be able to command yeah.
Cool.
So StateDB is like
Okay.
the concrete implementation of it, and it derives from this abstract base class.
Here we go. Yeah. Nice.
But you'll notice that it's not purely abstract. There are some things that are implemented at the root level that call some of the abstract functions. So
Yep.
things like
Yeah,
index.
this is what I think of as an abstract class versus I don't think I would have called this client sim base abstract by default. Because I
Yeah,
expect abstract to provide like some structure, and then yet have these at the end. Totally.
right. Um, so this is like kind of a way of enforcing a protocol, right? Like you have
Mhm.
a general external structure, and then you have pluggable pieces of it that you fill in with the inherited piece, right? I think the client sim base is roughly the same type of thing, except it doesn't have any implementation at the top level. But it's still like
Yep.
there's an update function that gets called. The
Mhm.
alternative to this is, I think, what did I call it? Whatever the thing is, that's the simulator. If you look up, sorry, it's been a couple of weeks since I've thought about this because my mind has been on jump point search, so I'm gonna have to like dredge things
No,
out of my brain. Um,
you're good. It's a good reason to go back to it too.
yeah, so the simulator here. Do we ever derive from client simulator? Does this derive at all?
I
It
don't
doesn't look like it.
think
No,
so.
so
Yeah.
this thing was a refactoring of our uh like rollback logic.
Hmm.
So like one way I could have done this is done the abstract base class thing, and then we do actually do a dependency injection in here, right? Like there is some kind of a dependency. Like if you go to the constructor, it's feeding in the simulate function.
Yep. This one takes it.
So this
Okay.
is similar to the
Okay.
simulate
Cool.
function that you're injecting. So I think the two patterns I'm trying to contrast here are either dependency injection, which is what this class is doing,
Hmm.
versus inheritance, right? Both are like kind of different ways of achieving the same thing. And you could imagine that another way I could have accomplished this one is that you inherit from client simulator in whatever you're doing, and you overwrite the simulate, like you overload the simulate function. Right? There could have been a simulate function in the
Yep.
child class. Um,
Totally.
I'm not actually sure what pattern I prefer. I guess abstractly, I kind of prefer the dependency injection one, just because I'm a little bit wary of inheritance.
Hmm.
One of the things that's tempting in inheritance is if you overload a parent function that already has an implementation. And then I remember when I was working in games, like a common pattern that would go on is that we would take the parent implementation of a function, copy most of it into the child class's version of that function, but then like interleave stuff in between different calls, and it ended up being like super confusing and difficult to work with. I'm not sure if what I'm talking
Oh
about
gosh.
resonates with you at all, but it's an easy trap to fall into when you need to get something done.
No, absolutely. I feel like I've just trained myself off of inheritance for so many of those same reasons,
Yeah.
just throughout software projects. Because yeah, when the behavior you're looking at is not there, it's really weird.
There's technically ways of preventing overrides in other languages. Like in C++, you basically declare functions as virtual or non-virtual. It's a terrible name, but what you're saying is like people are allowed to override this function in child classes, right?
Hmm.
Um, and I think in C sharp they went even further, and you had to like annotate the override with the override keyword, which I really like that pattern. It means you can read like a concrete implementation of a class, and you know which functions are sort of internal utility functions that are just local to that child class, and which functions are trying to implement the interface of something else. I like the kind of explicitness of that. All that being said, like if we do inheritance in this code base, I'm not against it, but I think we should try to avoid overriding functions that were declared and implemented in the parent or ancestor classes.
I think that's super reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a simulator here, and the simulator is an object that you're probably going to use in the editor's version of Client Sim. But I think what we're coming along to is, like, first of all, the names are really confusing. There's a client simulator and there's also client sim, and yep. I think we need to kind of separate those out. The client sim is basically the game. I think this is really kind of just like we could call it client game. I don't know if there's a server.
Is this?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm trying to think, like, it is just the game. Yeah. Huh. But then this does use the client simulator, right?
It does use the simulator. Yeah, the simulator actually runs all the systems, and it does the rollback, right? You could call the simulator like the rollback simulator if you wanted to, or like the networked simulator or something like that. That would be like the full name of it. The client sim, I guess, includes the ability to get renderables. Is there a server sim? Is there such a class?
And a server simulator.
Yeah. So server simulator, you notice one thing that this doesn't have is like the network connections. If you look at server sim, the server sim is like the combination of, it has the state DB, it has the simulator, and then it has like the links to the clients, right? It has actually the connections to the clients. And the client sim is like that as well, but it also has interfaces for rendering, because the server doesn't care about rendering, but the client does, right? So I'm not sure if there are any like clear abstractions that jump out to you, but I think my initial thought was that like probably the network piece is something that can be factored into the engine. Like client sim is right now part of the game, so it's like a concrete implementation of the engine. But I think what we're saying is that like maybe the networking part should be shared between different apps, right?
Yeah, I think we're not going to want to rewrite most of that.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing in client sim that I want to figure out how to factor out is the start. Is that even here? That's actually in client. Where's the map loading happening?
Oh, the map
There's so
loading?
many things going on there. I guess I'm looking for the thing that is like actually tying client sim to the game.
Yeah, I think it's in, oh, you know where it is? It's in the client simulator. Or rather, it's in the simulate function that we pass into it. I'll show you. Oh yeah, on all clients ready, right here. This is the start function right here. So where are we calling that?
I see. Gets handed to the simulator. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Oh yeah. So sorry, that's another thing that we dependency inject. We dependency inject two things.
Gotcha.
Yeah. If we inject three things, it starts to become like maybe these should be maybe it should just be like a child class that where we override a couple of the internal implementation functions, right?
Yeah, but I think the nice thing is that these are two kind of large chunks that do depend on their own scope from elsewhere.
Yeah, that's a really good way to frame it.
Yeah, it's like I wouldn't want to put on all clients ready and simulate together. I do want to maybe, well, this is simulate. Wait, is this recursive?
Simulate is sorry, it's a different. That's an imported function. This one is just like if you actually control R into or whatever your go to definition is. This is the one that has all of our systems in it. This theoretically could just be copied into client sim, right? This is like we could take all this stuff and just move it into client sim if we wanted to.
Yep, that's fair.
Because boy, are there a lot of simulations and simulators and sims right now. If it made you feel less confused, we could rename client sim to like app.ts or client app. It's kind of like the thing that we call update on. But it doesn't have the renderer in it. So that's the confusing thing. It's like the renderer I put a level up above this.
Right. Is the renderer coming in from client main?
Okay, so
'Cause we
here's the
request,
confusing
yeah.
thing: is there's an object called client in the engine. Do you see that one? Right, it's like line 22, but to the left of line 22 in the file browser.
Oh,
Yeah. So this
yep.
thing is kind of like I put it in the engine, and this is like the overall framework, right? It has all of the browser oriented stuff. It's got the render and stuff, and it has the sim there. It has the client sim base. And my assumption was that all of this like top level stuff, including like, all the hardware connections, would be shared between the editor and the game. So I put it all into this thing. But then you plug the client sim into that. Again, that's a bad name, but it's all like the game specific logic.
Yeah. Gosh.
And
We're
that's
passing
an
in.
that,
We're passing in.
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
This is a client sim constructor. That's really
It's a
interesting.
constructor because the keyboard and mouse don't exist until we get through halfway through this constructor. So if you can think of another pattern for that, like none of this I think is good. Like what I mean is I think all of this is bad, or I don't think it's like this is definitely a V0 kind of refactoring.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally. I think it's. I don't think it's bad. I think we made it. I think we made a game engine.
Okay, that's very generous of you to say.
Yeah, yeah. I see why this is very confusing. I guess client simulator. No, because this is where sync server state ended up. This has the update, which goes to sim update. I mean, this. Oops. This feels like a. I feel like this does abstract out the chunks pretty well. I think we just need to rename some things.
Yeah.
I think we need to rename some things to start.
Okay.
Yeah. Client simulator, server simulator. I'm kind of feeling like maybe client sim is actually like, is this
Game
just
logic.
client game? Yeah. And server sim is the same thing but with a little less. Because this also needs to take simulate. Or it takes a simulator.
Yeah, the server has the same simulate. It ends up calling the same simulate function as the client sim does, right? Because you're updating the same services, you're updating the same systems.
Yep.
Although I think if you go into simulate, I think I threw in a jazz riff. Like if you go into simulate, oh, maybe I did it somewhere else. Like I thought I did the player input handling here, but I think that's just in client sim. Like if you go to client sim's simulate function, check out that. That's the big distinction right there. It does it like if we're in client prediction, it'll actually handle the input. That's how I like distinguish this between distinguish the client from the server, because we actually handle input on this side.
I think that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Were we running the player input server or system on the server before and just we handed it fake keyboards and mice, right?
We weren't doing that because client sim and server sim, like they inlined a lot of the stuff in the client simulator stuff. Like the client simulator like code was previously just part of client sim. And so we interleaved like a call to the player input system in between a bunch of that crap. And in
Gotcha.
order for me to
Okay.
like handle the player input at the right location, that's why there's this design right now.
Okay. Cool. Man. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what I would change. Because client sim and server sim are both kind of game logic right now.
Yeah. What if we called simulate.ts and that function simulate? What if we renamed that to like run systems, and we know that that's shared between the client and the server?
This one, run systems.
Yeah, or update systems.
I like that.
And then we could even rename the file so it's less confusing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think yeah, removing the word simulate seems like a great start.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I always click yes, and I haven't dared to do the always always import. I don't know why.
Oh,
It's never not what I want.
always. I trust it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably formatting. Gosh, what is
Do you know about Command Alt S? That saves
no? Does
everything.
it save all?
Yeah.
Of course it
Oh,
does.
yours is.
Do you say alt or option?
I say Alt because
That's alt.
I'm a Windows. I learned these buttons when I was a Windows person. Sorry.
That's fair. No. I mean, like, alt and option for the things the platforms diverged on. I feel like that was a very silly one because it's the same freaking word. Command in Windows is the weird one to me.
Yeah, there wasn't a Windows key for a long time. When they introduced that, it was very strange.
Hmm. It's actually weird because Windows has started to add like Windows tab is a thing in newer Windows now, and it used to like not do anything.
What
And
is
it's like
that
they
again?
added a Command Tab shortcut just for me, like Command Tab, but like Windows Tab also opens a switcher.
Is that new? I thought they always had that. I don't know.
It wasn't there in
I
XP,
don't
I
actually
don't
know.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I remember my experience of Windows being confused that Alt Tab was what I had to press instead of that. So I don't know when it showed up, but when it did, I was like, oh, great.
Right.
Hmm. Okay. Client sim, a server sim, and these each have a simulator.
We could
I
call
guess
this
I
client
kind of want
logic and
this.
server logic. That would be one way of doing it.
Yeah, or it's like updates in here, right? Like this is client loop, maybe? I guess
Yeah,
it
we
does some
could.
other stuff, so it's not just a loop.
It's
Yeah.
it's like the state. It's the state container and it's the state container and the network connections and the updater and the interface to renderable objects. And the server sim is the
Mhm.
same thing, but it doesn't have the renderable piece.
Yeah. Maybe what about like client game? Is that weird?
That's fine. It doesn't include anything
Okay.
like rendering related, but if you just think of the game as like the logic of the game, then I think that makes total sense.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it's like what each side needs to keep track of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Command
Command Option
option.
S.
Ah, beautiful.
You've got the power. You got the touch.
That's pretty great. Oh man, what a great movie that was.
Yeah.
Classic.
And
Wait, wasn't
then
that a Weird Al song too?
you dare to be stupid. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you can rename the class itself
Uh, ooh,
and
right.
then rename the parent interface as well.
Hmm.
It's just game base or client game base.
Client game base, yeah. And server game. And I guess it's any reason this doesn't have a base?
It doesn't have a base because uh, I think it gets called directly by. You're right. It I don't think it has a base because there's
I mean,
no
it's like
the class that cares about the client game base is the client class, which is part of the engine.
hmm,
In fact, if you go
I
to
see. Where's this just?
client.ts, if you go to client.ts, you're actually going to
Oh, yeah,
want to
that's kind of
rename the
yeah.
like when that sim
Oh,
member variable, call that game.
game. Yep.
Yeah. Game feels okay. Feels not too
I
bad.
like that something is called game at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when we have simulator that's actually like calling in to simulate. I feel good about that.
Yeah.
Or simulator takes simulate, which is yeah, totally down with that. Yeah, and then we inject simulate into the simulator in the client game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's okay. Yeah. I would love to sort of like, yeah, I think a lot of this stuff could maybe be abstracted into the base class if we made a base constructor.
Yeah.
Because I do see that like most of that probably goes with it, right?
I think you might be right.
Yeah. We could leave simulator as an abstract property that you have to set in the constructor too. Well, does TypeScript let us do that? It probably does.
Can you say that one more time?
Oh, I guess I'm used to some languages where you can't specify a property that's not set on the class you create. But I think with abstract, it should let us. Like
Yeah,
simulator
I'm not
should be the
sure.
thing that
Yeah.
would do it in each. Yeah. Okay, let's find out.
Well, what would we put in the is the base of this going to have any logic in it?
uh, guess I feel like connect server. Some of these functions could go in there. What even is the point of get? Oh, this is for sync camera. Camera syncing actually, I don't think is quite as clear to me.
Camera syncing is local to this game. It's local
That's
to
game,
yeah,
yeah.
or to this app or whatever.
Mhm. Events by frame. Yeah, I guess this is all pretty gamey.
I think the only thing
But
that is not gamey is the is like the network connection stuff potentially. I think that was like kind of like where I stopped the
mhm.
refactor. Uh, maybe the
Yeah, just do two things, yeah.
also maybe the input devices as well, right? So if you like scroll up, I think the
Hmm.
keyboard and mouse, also maybe the model loader, also debug draw, and then maybe
Yep.
the server connection and player number.
Mhm.
Do we use player input state at all? What does that do?
Get out of here.
Yeah, I think this was for the builder when
That's
it
for the last thing,
yeah, the
yeah.
last thing.
I think probably everything does get a camera and a camera controller. Some of
Yeah,
this stuff, and actually, I
the
would
way that
love
I
to
solve
see
the
copyright.
camera is that the camera is like business logic. What the interface that this exposes is a get FOV and a get uh, projection matrix. Like it doesn't even
Hmm.
like get doesn't even elevate to the level of a camera. So like what the client cares about is like getting the FOV and getting the worldview transform. I'm sorry, because those are the two things that the renderer cares about, right?
Cool. Okay, that does make sense. Then yeah, get renderables. This is all pretty normal. Hmm.
So
This is game stuff.
yeah,
Yeah. And yeah, like particle mirrors, like the editor doesn't need that. Okay,
Send
I'm
client
down with
message
that. I
maybe
think
is the
this
one thing
is
that's going to be like exactly the same line for line. It's the same between the editor and the game.
mhm.
So there's something about the network
Yeah.
connection that maybe is I don't know what to do with, to be honest. But
Put this up near. Yeah, these three and some of the constructors sure feel like we pulled out. But we don't necessarily have to do that right now either. Like,
yeah, yeah,
I'd be pretty okay copy pasting this file to start a new game. That's
sounds great.
effectively. Yeah. Oh, cursor read. All right, hang on. Gone. You're gone.
Nice.
All right. Whew.
Are we gonna call it the editor game or
RIP.
client editor? Like, what would you?
I think client editor.
Okay, yeah.
That
It would be
that
client
seems
editor and server editor,
pretty
right?
reasonable to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that seems right.
Mm-hmm.
Client editor. Yes. Server editor. Yeah, I mean, I think I am gonna copy paste this and maybe just delete all the game parts from it and see what we're left with.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, actually, really helpful that the things that we want are missing.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if that was intentional. I don't know how the editor picks. Like, I honestly, I think those two engine imports should probably be tilde engine, right? Like the lines 3 and 4. I mean,
Oh, yep, yep, and really this should have been game, and now it's working.
yeah.
So everything from here down. Did we take out that ESLint that you wrote to restrict this, or do we have to
We have to add an RC into
enable
this
that?
directory if we wanted to.
Oh, cool. Let's do that. Oh, you just did, it's for the engine only right now, right?
Correct.
Cool. Yeah, let's do that. This is a really good pattern, and I'll do want to not screw us later. So
And you also want
all
to
we
add
do is
engine in
add
there.
engine.
Yeah. And then you need to go to the
Cool. I'm gonna put this.
tsconfig.json. Sorry, there's another file, tsconfig.eslint.json. Gosh, that's freaking horrible, this tool chain. And then add that new RC file here.
Gotcha. I'm gonna do it to the game too. Let's just do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That and you.
Yeah.
Cool. So game has that. Has engine. Oh, you just want the format. And that means that uncommenting this. Ah, that's so cool.
It's pretty useful,
That's
right?
very fucking clever. Yeah. Yeah, nice work. I really like that. Okay. Wow, we have a lot of stuff to use systems. Ah, okay. Yeah, we do use some of this, but great.
We have another fun abstraction question to solve in the future, which is what about code that is shared between the game and the editor, but is not the engine?
Mm-hmm. That is a very interesting question.
Yeah. We could just delete the
does
ESLint
StickDB
RC, or
have
we could maybe allow the editor to import from game, but not vice versa, or something like that.
Oh, yeah, maybe, but right now, disallowed.
Yeah.
I mean, this editor is going to have a whole different set of component bags, right? So
yeah, I think that's right.
big fan of the way this is working.
Okay, cool.
This is a good refactor.
Okay, I'm glad you don't hate it. That's the big
No,
sweat wipe from the forehead here.
I truly do not. Yeah. No, I think especially with a few less simulate words, it's working
Mm-hmm.
great for me.
Yeah, you don't need you don't need the hash rocket there for the methods.
That's that's what it is. Nice. Now it's just happy about empty bodies and cool. Great. I mean, I feel like we could write like a Rails engine for this sucker, but
Yeah, I mean Rails is kind of
all right.
an engine for websites, right? That's basically what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Simulator. Okay.
We had to make the level editor multiplayer. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah, we did.
We went for it.
This was a reasonable choice to have made.
Yeah.
Let's see, client simulator.
Maybe
Oh, I
what
see.
we can go
We need
for
to write a
today
frame
is
event.
the ability
Yeah.
to float around the map using WASD to control the camera, or maybe we can get the orbit camera in there as well, something like that.
Ooh, that'd be fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yep. Yep. I like that. Uh, Camera 3D is in game.
I don't know if we'd use
Is this?
camera. I don't even know if we'd use this class at all.
Oh, we certainly did. I mean, this is our camera,
Oh, what I
right?
mean is, I don't know if we use this in the editor at all. Um,
Oh, okay. That's fair.
well, it depends on what we want for the camera to have. Like this camera, its logic is to point at things in world space. Um,
Hmm.
and so it is pretty generic. The camera has a position and a target, and that's basically how it works. So if we wanted to use it in both places, this may be a class that would be reasonable to put in the engine. It'd be more of like a utility class where it's not like you don't have to use it, but it would be there as a generic thing. Um, but if you look at the
Yeah,
cameras
and,
for
and I can
render toy,
imagine sort of mhm,
uh,
toy camera.
like the render toy and particle toy have their own cameras that do their own cool thing.
Hmm.
They even do like a little
Cool.
bit of
Okay.
input handling in them. So it's kind of really up to how you want to handle it, right?
Great. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. So yeah, camera less clear. And does the client game base require? Oh, it doesn't have any specified things. Camera controller, this stuff. Emitter history we don't need. I'm assuming that we have no the sucker.
Yeah, there's no dedupe log in the editor either. I don't think.
Nope. Nope. Probably not. Can I just make one of these? Oh, but it probably doesn't have anything in it.
Yeah, there's no constructor on it at all. I think you can just create it but not pass anything in.
Oh, that's clever. So wait, does the base have a protected constructor? Oh, I love it. Great. Super. Entity ID. Cool. Config T.
Yeah,
Great.
so basically, like what an entity is in the game is different than what an entity is in the editor. So that's why it's a template function. Like there's going to be some,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, that totally tracks. Because entity config is this little sucker. Cool. Do we still use make default entity? Oh, yeah, more than I thought.
we probably don't need it honestly, but
It's it's a not the most useful thing.
yeah,
We have a lot of team-based stuff in here that I feel like we haven't looked at in a while.
Because like whatever it registers the entity, the state database can just set that property, set all the defaults that aren't previously specified, right? Like I think.
Yeah. It's really excited about importing from. Oh. Cool. That's the last use for ABB, but that'll probably be back actually. Do we have stuff? We have stuff in util outside. Oh, great. Sweet. Love it. Alright, camera zoom level, emitter history. This. I feel like I'm just going to toss the whole concept of the map because we will figure it out.
Yeah.
It's probably totally different. All right, and then a new client simulator. Oh, interesting. Okay. I guess I can redefine that here, and we'll do editor constants later.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of if. I wonder if some of these are engine constants right now, like those three. Maybe independently as well.
I don't think that they have to be, but
okay.
If you wanted them to be common, I've like an extremely weak, like the weakest of weak preferences to put that in some kind of common directory rather than the engine, because I don't think the engine should care about these constants.
Oh, I see. So it's not engine, but actually a thing that both systems can, or both apps can import from.
Yeah.
I don't feel that strongly about not redefining these. Just trying to think of like what our shared behavior is.
Right.
Client editor. Okay, and then set. Is this one of the required ones?
I think it's required. Yeah.
Okay.
It can be a do nothing
with that yet. Got our server. Yep. Yeah. Get player pause. I think is probably just for the sync camera player, which we're going to use. Get player pause. We're going to lose. Okay. Yeah. Get a new state DB. This current player thing, but I bet say. And then all of this is kind of relevant. Nice.
Yeah.
I think update is also mostly not relevant. Oh, we should consume the server messages. We should tick the simulator because this returns frame events. We should define this sucker.
Yeah, I'm not sure what frame events because the frame events are all side effect related, right? Like that's.
Yeah, I was thinking of passing an empty set in there or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that makes
sense.
Because
the state DB base needs it, right? Yeah. But yeah, the update frame side effects, you're gone. Or the client scenario needs it, yeah. All this stuff. That feels kind of gamey. I guess we can toss all this if we ever want it.
Yeah.
We know where it lives. Okay, so let's get in there. Get FOV. All this frame event stuff is gone. Wow, that does feel a little weird. Oops, did I do one too many? I did.
Nice.
Yeah, it's getting there. Of course, yeah. Particle engine,
You can
particle
have it
engine.
delete all unused imports with the auto fixer.
Oh my god. Really? How?
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I can do one.
There. It was in that menu. I don't know why it's not giving it to you all the time, but if you do command period, delete all your unused. Yeah.
Bizarre.
That was really weird.
Yeah, it was. Let's see, we don't need to add another here. Cool. Renderable 2D.
It's just a formatting error.
Great. Yep. All right, all right. Entity config. Oh, you're still. I do want. Yeah, that's shared.
Yeah. I think the entity config won't have an ID on it normally. You don't get the ID until you register it, but
I guess I was just trying.
It's just fine to throw it in there for now.
I just wanted it to have something. I guess I'm surprised that this is still raising an error. Expected 0 type. Oh, does state_db just not? That's not great. Oh, is that because I forgot to put a generic on it? State_db for the game. Oh, no, I'm just losing it. Added it into containers. Okay, gotcha. Config, entity config. Cool. And yeah, you're right. Let's just do like is entity or something.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay. All right, gosh, yeah, there is sure stuff in here still. Client editor. Server. Really wants to import from game. Let's see, lose the map stuff. Kernel. Connect client. So on all clients ready. This is the thing we have to write for both of them to realize together once we have some system.
Yeah.
And then we need an update systems. Cool. That's simulator. Oh, I guess I haven't finished defining state to be yet, so I'm not happy. What? I would have thought that this, despite having some type issues, would have matched the signature.
What was it complaining about?
Over here in simulator update, saying that state_db is not assignable to state_db base. Oh, add entity containers. Oh, is that what is?
If you go to the state_db base or the state_db class, What happens if you just get rid of the T,
Oh,
the template thing right there?
I bet that. Yeah. You think toss it
I think
completely,
you toss it
or
completely. Yeah.
okay?
Is it complaining now?
Yeah, that's not matching, but this should match now because now T matches its definition. So yeah, that was it. One too many T's.
Uh, I'm a little bit confused. As can you go to the state TB in the game? What does that declaration look like? Yeah, add entity containers doesn't have any generics on it, and I don't think it should because
Oh,
in statedb.ts, what's going on there is entity config is not what you think it is. It's not the type. That's what it's using as the generic variable name, the generic parameter. Do you see what I'm saying? If you make that the
gotcha. Oops. Yeah. Okay. And it doesn't need that to be.
yeah, but if you go to the statedb.ts,
Sorry, which one?
the editor
The game?
one, is this just complaining that like it's not the function's not complete, or is there something else that it doesn't like?
Yeah, this still thinks that it's T, but is that because? Huh. I'm super surprised you didn't have to use the generic syntax for that anywhere in here. That's really weird.
Um, yeah, well, it figures it out based on the like you're basically instantiating it by writing line 12 because
Yeah. No, I mean,
when you put the
I see it. Yeah.
generic brackets here in a declaration, you're declaring a generic variable. You're not populating it. Like
Mhm.
when you call a function that takes a generic and you use the brackets at the call site, you're providing a type as the generic parameter. But when you're declaring a function, you use the
Right.
brackets, you're declaring the parameter. So it's the same thing as if you use the letter T. You're basically creating a generic parameter called T. So I don't. This is all to say I don't know why the type checker is complaining about that thing right now.
Yeah, pretty weird.
Yeah.
Hmm. Model, I mean, oh yeah, this, who knows how we're getting around it, I guess. Oh, it's in the server editor. Yeah, that's weird. Is, well, I was like, server simulator is not missing a generic either. Huh. Well, that's not the only type error we have, so maybe with a little more help, we'll figure it out. Okay, so client editor frame event. I think we probably just don't need them.
Yeah, you could just create a frame event that's like totally empty, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that is right. Was this a, oh yeah, it was that. Okay, cool. I mean, so really I could just, no.
Void maybe? Does void work?
Yeah,
You
let's
put it
see
in
if
those
that
brackets.
totally does. Cool. Oh, emit particles is required on game base. Okay.
Yeah, because the game
Okay, cool.
could generate particles. I know that the editor doesn't emit particles, but like because there's a particle emitter at the
No,
level
but
of the
that's
framework. Yeah.
yeah, no, that seems that's like absolutely engine stuff. So I'm with it.
Yeah.
If I can actually do this.
You probably still want to satisfy the signature. Yeah,
Oh,
you can keep the type there, but it is unused. I think you were right to add that. And then you probably just have to import the definition of particle config. It's
dang,
gonna
okay.
complain. Like I know you're not gonna ever use it, but unfortunately you have to have it.
No, yeah, all good. This is angry here too. Wild.
So can we yeah.
Parameters entity config are incompatible. And T is not like T entity config. It has no structure input.
Yeah, this the state DB doesn't have a class level generic, right? So it's not like simulator should care.
No.
What if we tried to finish the implementation of the state DB?
Sounds good. Oh, of the state DB? Yeah. All right, let's we got our real and our editor. Gosh.
Is it are the
What
complaints
do we add?
here? What is an any config is just a boolean right now, so it is a real type, right?
Yeah, it's this sucker.
Okay.
Should be a type. Interface is
No,
fine, right?
this
Yeah.
interface is totally fine. Yeah. What I meant is it's not just like an empty interface. What if we?
No, it's got a
Yeah.
thing.
What if we did underscores?
Maybe we can let's. Oh, yeah, the whole way through. Sure.
It shouldn't matter.
I was gonna say let's do a little let's just do a little implementation of it. E dot what did I say is entity? This is entity. This is builders. So we still have to okay. So time that's. This is just new and
Yeah.
types have no overlap.
It's a
Oh,
boolean
sure.
that can't be
Yeah,
undefined. So yeah, there you go. And then instead of set, I think it's just add the ID.
Add.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still doesn't like
Hold
it.
on, I was hoping. Yeah, I was hoping that would solve it. So
So what's
how is
going on
there
in
a
the
working
game?
implementation of this?
What's going on the game side? I'm so confused.
Huh? I mean, it's nothing, and then we index,
Yeah.
which that does seem like a good idea. DB base.
What if we just restarted the type checker? It's possible
Sure.
that it's just
So just reload
confused.
window.
Yeah, yeah.
It's always the damn answer. Nope. Ah. I wonder if there's something else here. Well, I guess I just did that search and actually it was fine. Crud. I should see if there's something else that's actually like implying the type.
No.
No, there really shouldn't be. Is it that this gets used somewhere else? Does it get used somewhere else?
What does the base do? And something calls added entity containers, right? Oh, register
Entity.
But
Oh.
register's not part of the interface. Or register's part of the parent interface. It's not part of the child interface. This should be fine.
It's fine over here. Yeah. What the heck?
Is it possible that it wasn't fine, and the fact that we only ever had one was the reason why it worked?
The fact that we had what?
The fact that we only ever had a single.
What about here? What if where's our state DB? If we did like state DB dot register entity, and we do const entity, which is an entity config.
I think I have an idea of how to fix this.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna say if I pass into register entity,
Then it knows.
does this so sudden? Yeah, and now I bet that actually this is fine. I'm gonna reload again, but
I think I see what
my
you're
hunch
saying.
is that yeah, because now we've informed it. Fuck.
Okay, so why don't we try this? Why don't we make StateDB base a template class?
Mm-hmm.
So rather than having the template at the function level, we'll just add it here. Can we call it T entity config so it's clear what the T stands for?
Absolutely.
Right.
Cool.
So now,
great.
So now, anytime you inherit.
Now this, yeah. Well, this should be gone. Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
What a weird thing to have to do.
Yeah, I think this is actually ultimately better because it means you can't call register entity with any arbitrary type, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting that the call to this was what was seemingly what was implicitly informing the type checker.
Yeah.
This is
better though. This is a good improvement. So.
Yeah, 100%.
Did you switch to the other side of the Discord window in your little like overlay? I thought you were on the left of me, but now you're on the right of me.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did.
I like it.
You can see this, but no one else can see this.
Nice.
Yeah, I have it. I'm watching the stream. And I'm just like, is it docked behind our faces? Great. You know what? I mean, I guess we don't need to index or unindex thing right now, huh?
For now, yeah. It's just underscore those things.
Cool. Yeah, it's a state DB that stores nothing.
Oh, hey.
Just like I like it. Yeah.
In state DB base,
Uh-huh.
can you show me the register entity function? Okay, so we're double indexing right now. You see in line 28 how it's indexing? I think we need to go to the concrete implementations of both
Oh,
and
shit.
remove the call to index. Yeah.
Right.
In fact, I like that because I don't want the I want the base class to enforce all the protocols. Like the child classes shouldn't have, like, the API should be dead simple in the child classes. Just fill out a form and that's it.
Yeah. Well, having an abstract class an abstract implementation depend on calling another abstract implementation feels weird. Yeah, good eye.
Agreed.
All right, any config, yeah. Delete that, we don't need you. Let's just get through some of that. Frame event.
Oh, we call this void.
void
Can
array.
we do void arrays? We can.
Yep, guess so.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Maybe comment out the thing in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, because that is the magic bullet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then update systems, we got it right. What is the other one doing? I like this, by the way. I don't think I've seen this go by yet. The variable debug color.
Oh yeah, that's how we. Do you remember when we were doing like hitboxes and stuff, and it was like a little trail of things that would follow you, and they were different colors? That might have been a while ago.
Yeah.
We turned it off basically. It was just for us to be able to compare what the server thought, where the server thought you were versus where the client prediction is.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I think that might still be in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, so do we define our own frame state?
I think we might
that's
have.
Nice. Cool. That's great because that means we actually don't need passing frame event to or any of this.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't really need anything. I think update systems is totally local to the game.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, take out simulation phase. Well,
it might not be the worst thing to pass along.
There we go.
Still doesn't want to import the. Yeah, that's so stupid.
I know. And where is my I don't know. That's fine. All right, cool. That's that. We don't really care about
Return
this,
the empty array.
do we? All right, yeah. All right, world transform. 90. Oh, return. Yes.
Do we have? I think we might have mat4 identity in all caps. Although it needs to be immutable. Shit.
Oh, nice.
I might not have created it actually. Yeah, just mat4 create. Yeah, fuck it. I like it.
It's fine.
Oh no, wait, we don't have to do that. Return the input. Return the thing that you passed in. That's actually the implementation. Return out.
Oh, yeah, you're totally right.
That's actually what we should be doing.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got that. These two are gone.
Oh my god! Oh my god! You did it. We had to like knock down some walls, but we did it.
And now if we start it up, we'll get nothing.
A whole lot of nothing.
Okay. Whole lot of nothing.
Does
So what should
the
be
does the entry point to the right classes?
Oh, nope. Editor, client, editor. All right, I'm gonna make a common folder. It's just gonna have simulation period in it, but
Yeah. What if we called it common settings.ts or something like that?
ooh, now you're talking.
Yeah.
Did I not export anything? You win that round. Oh, and then our ESLint is coming.
Oh, nice. Yep.
And then server main, same thing. Editor. Bring those both in. What are you grumpy about? Oh, settings. Player count. Oh, that's interesting. Fuck. So maybe editor has settings too.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they're two different things, right?
Yep, they totally are. I do like settings as seems clear. Server editor, server. Oh, not server editor. Wild.
The player count on the server is interesting. Like, I wonder if we could just, almost with the editor, like we could almost just allow anybody to join and we'd serialize the map and give them the whole thing. We haven't implemented
For
mid-game join.
yeah, that would be really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Nope, still important. Great. Now that's also a map editor setting. All right. Well, yeah, now this needs to do something.
It runs.
It never crashed.
Yeah.
Which is
rock solid.
But also it never loaded. Also, it never loaded the code. Yeah. Okay. I guess that probably is the game with the camera.
Sweet.
Time to start over. Boy. All right. What?
What should it be?
Let's see. What can we do? I think we should load the map. Let's get the map in here.
Okay. The map in this case is going to be a component, right? Because it needs to be synchronized. Any edits to the map need to be synchronized between the server and the client. So it's probably going to be something that's in the state DB.
Oh. Okay, yeah, this is already a big change. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. So we're thinking map is a. Well, then we'll need a map system, right, to go with.
Yeah, or
No,
I
it's
imagine that the
not.
map is going to be edited by a bunch of systems. So there's probably a map component.
I guess I was gonna go with the pattern of making a system tied to the component too, just because
Yeah, we'll start with
been,
that, and then
yeah.
interface map.
Oh, interface map. And what? Gosh. Okay. What doesn't this have? I guess export enum map tile type grass
I think this
river
actually
mountain.
exists already in the game. It could be a common
Okay.
thing, right? Oh, well, let's just stick with it for now. We can make things common when like later. I'm
Yep.
down with it.
Yep. I was because we can. I know something like this exists, but I think we'll be able to tie this together.
Yeah.
Or deduplicate it. So I guess I don't know with number and
God, the rollback is gonna be horrible on this
tiles.
one. Oh no.
Yeah. Could be. Could be.
We
Yeah,
could
it will
check
be.
some and then not roll back. Right. We could do all kinds of caching.
Hmm.
It's
I was
just
gonna make it a uint 8 array, but I guess it's
it can be uint 8 if
that.
we have less
Yeah.
than 256 tiles, right? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I just want to type it to that, and I can't do that otherwise.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Learn about tildes. All right. Maps. Yep. Map. Is it really? Did I do that wrong?
No, this is right. I think if you go to map.ts, let's just figure out whether it's being exported correctly. It is. Okay, so I think maybe we just need to. It's just having a hard time figuring out where to get it from.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a fine construct.
Yeah.
And
then
that's right.
yeah.
E dot map.
Not equals undefined.
And this one we do need to do it.
Yep.
And then let's see. So this is our clone.
Let's export it from the map.ts file. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Return width, height, and tiles. There.
C.tiles.slice. I think that's what it is. Friggin' horrible.
That's gonna be massive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. We'll need that later. Well, okay. I do like that every time I say it, I see like occasionally a blink of reloading on the side here.
Right. It's doing something.
Is doing it. It's doing something. Entity config. Editor map. Beautiful. Okay, and then I guess we need to, in our client and server editor, I kind of want like a shared start function that we never really had on the game.
Could be in update systems.
What are you thinking? Or like a start systems or something?
Yeah, something like that. Or init systems or something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That actually makes a lot of sense. We'll take a frame state because we need to do frame state dot state db dot all functions in Word. See const map equals map. This is an entity config. And we'll do with height. Tiles is maybe array. Can I pass a size? Oh yeah, there's like a dozen constructors to this, right? I wanted to give it a length and a default, but I think
32 times
just
32, yeah.
Mhm.
So UN8 array does not satisfy the array interface. So
doesn't. You're right.
I mean, I think you can make a choice of whether or not you want type safety coming out of the array or you want the performance of a UN8 array. So it's kind of up to you. UN8 array is probably faster to copy, I'm guessing. But
yeah, I was gonna say I think we'll be happier with this.
Okay.
All right, well, it still doesn't satisfy it.
What's it unhappy about? Oh, you know what? It's UN8 array is
Totally.
you don't need the extra brackets. I do that all the time.
I saw it. Oh, hilarious. Config. And then say that map does not satisfy config. And that's weird.
You don't need the interior map key is not a thing. You have too many. Oh, I see what you're saying.
The interior map is.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, that's
This
part of
is
the
like,
entity.
yeah. Oh, it was just unhappy it wasn't used. TypeScript always gets me with that shit, man.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I guess we've on all clients ready. And systems.
Yeah, and maybe it doesn't need to take a frame state. Just pass in the state DB, and I think you're done.
Just state DB. Yeah, I think I concur.
State DB is I think, a better name than what we've come up with so far for this thing. It's the thing that contains the state,
concur.
and it can commit and it can roll back. So it's database.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I like it. And yeah, we made a database. On all clients ready. There we go. It's magenta when it's broken. back when it's working. Interesting
Maybe
one.
return void. Yeah.
Oh, I just added TypeScript to my company's monolith Rails app
Uh-oh.
that has like a couple hundred JavaScript files in it, and like my entire day today was like just threading TypeScript through its Webpack config, and like I'm so excited to not write JavaScript anymore.
Was there anybody that was upset about that?
One of the other staff engineers was like, he was kind of like, I've been talking about this for almost the entire year I've been at the company, so I'm just like, I'm gonna add TypeScript to your project someday, and I think at this point I've kind of worn down.
Oh, people are reluctant. For not for good reason they're reluctant, but he's gonna really like you in 3 months or
I hope so.
in a month.
Yeah, it helped that when we worked on separate projects, I did everything in TypeScript on my side, and my team was just like, "Oh, TypeScript's great! Like everything's so everyone else can watch us."
Right.
It was the way. Yeah. All right. Gosh, we have 4 minutes. Ugh.
You try to get
I
something on
want to render
screen.
something. I want to render something. Yeah.
Okay.
Damn it. You got time for that?
I do. I got time.
All right. All right. We're gonna do it.
We have
What
to
the hell
implement a
is
camera and
this?
everything, so it's gonna take a little while.
Oh shit. Maybe we can steal the camera
Okay, that's
because
fine.
that's pretty cool, right? Yeah. It'll at least be a nice starting place. I like the mouse rotation orbit. That's the word.
Yeah. It's not gonna have access to the canvas, unfortunately, so the controls are gonna be a little bit different.
Oh.
Maybe you could borrow the 3D camera, or you could just. We don't even need a camera. We just need to set the world view transform, and we can do that using GL matrix. Just couldn't remember the name of the library.
Geomatrix. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
we could just pick an arbitrary point that
Yeah.
it's pointing at.
Great point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this raises an interesting question. The terrain, I believe, is a model that is constructed at the beginning
It
of the game
was.
from a JSON file, right?
Jeff, I have an idea. This sucker. This is terrible. Uh, Rollback's gonna suck. What if every tile was an entity? Like we instantiate one tile per entity for the editor. You click on it, but like any changes are rollback is a single tile amount of data. And then we render them each as their own thing as well, which we can totally handle. Is that wild?
Um,
Way too wild for right now.
it's not too wild. I think we should try whatever. I think that's feasible. So you're saying every tile's in it? Yeah. So we basically would have 5,000 entities. I think it'd be fine. I think we could totally handle
Yeah,
it.
we can. Yeah, I'm gonna we'll put a pin in that for next time because that's refactoring everything we just did. But it seems good. Um, yeah. Okay. So here's our terrain, which was we just loaded the model terrain and on all clients ready. Yeah, I think this is sort of where I got stuck on doing terrain editing in the game before. I was just like, we can't modify this. We baked this whole thing into a model that we couldn't change somewhere else.
So yeah, maybe I can propose thinking about it backwards. How would you want to render this?
Hmm. You mean in terms of right now or long term? Or in terms of just the editor you have?
Either way. Let's not think super long term, but let's think that. I mean, whatever. We can just draw the terrain right now and make sure that the editor runs, but it doesn't have to represent anything in state, right?
Yeah.
That's one way we could do it.
Yeah, I think that's what I was about to do. Yeah,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
is just pulling the editor. Let's see, pulling the train leader in. Init map. Yeah, I was gonna see sort of game common.
This used to be called capital G game.ts, and it had a bunch of bullshit in it.
Oh yeah, I do. Yep. So this actually, so it parses the map, but actually all we need is terrain layer.
Correct. That's all we need.
Okay, great.
I think that should be part of the engine already.
Yeah. Just in a funny import. Okay, and then we'll need a map. And we'll get that out of always back to big map.
Yeah.
Oh, these are actually, this is going to be fine. I accept. TypeScript's going to complain, but everything else compile.
Yeah, the linter will complain, but yeah.
Oh god, it's a raw map. We don't want a raw map. We want a map. What converts maps to raw maps? Oh lord. Game map from raw. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad we're doing love letter because I want to change some of this.
All this code is so old. It really sucks.
I feel like this. It's tough because this is like what we wrote in like the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
Of this game. Yeah. Where's game map come from?
God, I don't know.
All right. You've got a funny import too. This is great because I will be putting in TypeScript errors to remind us what to fix.
I'm a little torn on whether or not tile size should even exist.
Should be a common setting. I feel you. I was just thinking that as well. It'd be cool if it wasn't.
The only reason why it matters is because of floating. It's just like, what units do you want to think in? And I think tiles is a very natural unit to think in. But then again, maybe it feels like an arbitrary thing to pin. But we're also not using it pervasively. I think we're making certain assumptions elsewhere.
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw it out there. I feel like this should be working.
Well, our camera is not being pointed at it, right? So we need to actually point the camera.
It's not being pointed at anything. Yeah, that's the cool. Is that just the get worldview transform?
Yeah, so I think probably what we want to do is like figure out what position we think the camera should be at in. And then
do we have a default? Oh, we had it pointing at something by default.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. I mean, we can basically take that same code in Camera 3D, and then we get the target to, and all you need is the position, which is gonna be maybe 0 on the x-axis, +5 or +10 on the y-axis because you're floating above the ground, and then maybe +3 on the z-axis because you want to be like backwards a little bit, so you're like, you're pointing down at the origin with some, because the target's going to be the origin. Yeah. You could do. There should be 03.
Oh yeah. I feel like, why is this import? Oh, it's yeah. It hasn't figured out. Okay, so that is modifying the out.
So just return
Huh.
map4.target to. Oh, and I think that needs to be inverted
Oh,
actually. That actually needs to be inverted.
what's that? -5?
No, the whole
Oh,
matrix
the
needs to be
entire the
like go
entire
to
thing.
camera 3D. We invert it. I think. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Totally. Actually, you know what? I really like doing, especially because it's exactly the same.
Ah, clever. Oh my god. I was skeptical. I thought we were gonna have to fight it, Dom,
Yep. Yep.
but we didn't.
Yeah, we did it. I'm shocked. I think our normal zoom is actually closer to 12,
Yeah, I
but
think
yeah.
it's way much further up, and our FOV is I think much lower than this one is. I want to say it's like 75 or something. Oh god. That was actually awesome. What's 120? Yeah. This is God's camera.
Whoa, okay. FOV is not what I expected.
Yeah, when does it flip? Does it flip past 90? What? I don't
Past
know.
90, I guess? Yeah.
It would be cool to have an FOV slider. In the
I
game, you
think
can
I
control it
think
via the
we
JavaScript
thought
console, but
I think we thought this was a angle, but I think it's actually radians.
oh, because you're getting periodic behavior right now, aren't you?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like every time I change a number, we're entering weird shit. So
Yeah.
now let's do like 150.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, and like 40. Okay, cool. That only took us 5 extra minutes. We're great.
Yeah. We're geniuses. Send us
Absolute
the
geniuses.
Game of the Year award immediately. We deserve it. You know what?
Speaking of,
The linter errors
yeah,
are just going to be linter errors for now. How's that? Or we can get rid of the ESLint or we can let the
right.
editor import from game. For now.
I'm gonna leave this the linter errors because I don't want to import the game.
Okay.
I
Fair
think we'll
enough.
abuse that power. Sweet. All
You're
right.
like the
Hell
framers
yeah.
of the Constitution, Dom. You're afraid of your own power and you want to set good
Oh God,
institutions.
look what we did. Oh, oh no, we changed everything. Oh no. Hell yeah, this is awesome.
It's awesome. We're gonna have an editor. What I'm thinking for the input control is something like the orbit cam, but with WASD, so you can also move the target around with WASD, something like that. I don't know how that might feel.
Mm. The orbit cam with WASD. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll work. Great. Okay, those are in there. All right. Sorry about the build failing email you're about to get.
Oh, it's fine.
Or
Session
maybe I'm about to
95?
get. One of us will.
Is that what this was?
Yeah, it was. We're approaching 3 digits.
Yeah, I'm way
It's
behind
a good thing. It's a good thing
at doing
we're naming
the
ourselves.
edits. Yeah, but
So am I, dude.
it's
I
because
got zero here.
it's because I've been working on the game, which is a good excuse. One alternative we could do, because the edits are they're valuable historically, but they take time. We could just save the Twitch exports and maybe long term move over to doing video devlogs. The problem is video devlogs are even more time consuming.
Yeah, I'd be, I'm down if we can switch our edge to just doing the cold open with the title card, the music, and yeah, exporting that would take a lot less time and a lot less editing to find a clip. That's not a bad idea. I would just upload it to YouTube as it is.
As is without the cards. Yeah.
Yeah, with the cards, just without the stinger.
Okay.
We'll have to
Yeah,
we'll
because the
unsting
stinger and the
ourselves.
notes are what take the hours, right? The couple hours on top.
Yeah, and usually the stinger because you got to actually find it.
Yeah. I, I I
Yeah, we'll
think
see.
editing would be.
I intend to do some. Yeah, okay. We are. Okay, we're watching ourselves.
You intend to do what?
So I was gonna say I intend to do some editing and
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to continue with the status quo for now, but we'll see how we feel. Like I feel like there's space out there to do some kind of high value video, because right now I don't think they're
oh yeah,
necessarily super high value,
absolutely.
right? They're not, like bang for buck. It's not great at the moment.
Yep. Yeah. I do want to. I long term I do want to move to video devlogs that are like the sweet ones from that Forest game we found or any others. That's a great format.
Yeah, yeah, or even make them like 3 minutes long. You know, just like here's this algorithm I I discovered. Here's how jump point search works.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right.
Well, I guess yeah. Let's sign off.
I'm gonna click stop.